Good morning, everybody, and get ready to receive. Who doesn't have stuff from the past that you want to get rid of? If you're dealing with grief or you're stuck, then this next 15 minutes is for you. Hi, I'm Miss Chrissy D with the P&K Files, helping you prepare for when life happens. And this is Darlene Turner with Victim to Victory, and together we're the perspective. And before I hand you over to Darlene, I want to let you know about a little thing that I received this week. And I all of a sudden got notice that I had to go into self-isolation for 14 days. What a shock. I'm not sick. I've been vaccinated because of my job, but because I was exposed to it, I have to do the 14 days. Oh no, I'm moving this week. This cannot happen to me. It could have been a disaster, but instead, it's turned out to be a blessing that I have received because I now get 2 weeks off to move, get organized, and start my new life. And I'm really excited about it. So I guess it's all how you look at it, the perspective.
That's awesome, Chrissy. Yay. We never know what we really need until the universe delivers it. And it's just like, oh my God, that's so awesome. So I'm so happy for you.
Thank you.
So last week we talked about the beginning of this meridian. So we had the central meridian, which runs up the front of our body, and then the governor, which kind of goes from our top lip over our head to our tailbone, and the importance of these meridians and how they actually keep our whole energy field strong. They supply energy to all the other meridians. So please go back, watch that show if you missed it, so that you have those beginning steps to working with us through the meridians for the next few weeks. So this show is about the lung meridian and the large intestine meridian. And together they make the element metal. So as we talk about pairs, I'll be bringing in the element of what it is that those two pairs represent. So with metal, we kind of think of rigid, hard. So I'll get into a little bit more about that a little bit later on. But I want to talk about the lung meridian first. And the lung meridian, if we think about that, it's that breath of life, being able to bring in that, the Chinese call it in their heavenly qi. And so when we think about that in-breath, receiving all that oxygen, that energy in, and being able to release anything that's not serving us out, it's huge for our body.
You know what? Interesting that you say that, because I find myself a lot of the time, I stop and I'm like, I do a lot of shallow breathing. Sometimes I stop and I actually don't remember the last time I've taken a breath. Like it could be like a minute and it's like, oh my, I haven't even breathed. So I stop and I take a breath, and it's amazing. Who knew? How much better your body feels and how much more you get done when you actually stop and breathe. You feel so much better.
It's kind of vital. It gives
knew?
our body all oxygen to our brain and to our cells and to everything. So I love when one of people I listen to mentioned about breath is birth and death, the two words put together. So when we think about breath, it's like the first thing we did when we got here and embraced this life, and it's the last thing we do before we exit. So what is new beginning for you in that new breath taking in, and what is ending? So I hear from you in your story that you're actually in a lot of new beginnings and in a place of a lot of letting go. So
yes, absolutely. You know what? I have let go of so much recently, including friends and people. And I've been walking our talk and doing all the things that we've talked about. And I am feeling powerful. I'm feeling okay with setting boundaries. I'm getting rid of old files. I'm setting new ones. And yes, it takes a little bit of conscious work to do it. And you want to make sure you don't throw out the baby with the bathwater and throw all the good away. But what a difference it makes. Simplifying my life, getting rid of the old, letting the new in, and keeping what's good.
And I'm just going to add to that, today is the full supermoon. So as we go through the show today, I want you to kind of review in your life, what's ready to go, what are you ready to release, and what do you want to bring in? So we'll get Michael to bring up the meridian chart so that everybody can see. And with it, you can kind of see how the meridian runs from your thumb all the way up inside your arm, and it kind of does this little jig and around into there. So just follow that for yourself and see what you find that may be sore. Give a little pressure to that and see if you can find a block in that lung meridian for yourself.
I did this yesterday, and Darlene said to me, do you have any pain in your arm? Because all the things that it was related to were things that I had been going through. And I went, no. And I know people, I'm skeptical with a lot of this stuff, but so I'm like, nope, my arm's fine. Anyway, she got me to push on a couple pressure points and do this exercise. And I was like, wow, I didn't even know that pain was there. I was just functioning over it and not even realizing it was there. And yes, we did a little thing, and what a difference it made. It actually is okay today.
That's super cool. Thank you for sharing that. So yeah, find out what's sore on you. So with this chart, we're looking at the lung again. And so it's, if you wake up between 3 and 5 a.m., and I know you shared with me that that's usual 4:30 you wake up, and today you actually slept till 5:30. So maybe we'll work on the large intestine next. But so let me share a little bit about what this lung in the physical body is. So it'd be breathing disorders like asthma, bronchitis, coughing, emphysema, loss of smell, sinusitis, and this one was kind of surprising, dry skin and dry hair. So that's kind of a little different to go with this. And it's also the first defense against external pathogenic factors. So this is pretty huge in today's times that we're in. It also affects our voice and speaking. So, you might have that frog in your throat or loss of your voice. This can all be related to this one. Emotion is grief, sadness, worry. And when we think about that, it's like, wow, maybe you had a death in your life or a loss of a job, or you're in a huge transition. To make sure that you're actually giving your time to grieve that, to be sad over it, to honor that experience. I know a lot of times, because I've lost a loved one, sometimes we really get caught up in, the process of cleaning out the house or the celebration of life or whatever that is. And then we just go right back to work. And that detaches us from that experience and distracts us, so we don't actually feel those feelings. So this is really important to go through and release your grief. Worry is another one in this. And I just want to bring in about the nervous system, because like Chrissy was saying, when she's shallow breathing, that's really our nervous system in that overwhelm, that fight or flight for so long that it's almost like a shock, and we suck in our breath, something happened in life, and then we just sort of shallow breathe from there. So this is what's so important about tapping into this one and being able to recognize when we're not breathing, because that's that big losses in life that are prolonged for a long time that can affect the nervous system. And if we go into mental, there's jealousy, holding grudges, and phobias also fit into this. And spiritually, it's inability to live life with exuberance. It's like, wow, how many of us actually wake up dreading the day, or, looking for the next shoe to drop, or all those things when we've been in a bad place. And it's not really our fault. We just had a lot of experiences in a row that's kind of showed us some negativity or struggle. Life has been a struggle. So now we want to look at being able to be exuberant in life, and how do we show up with joy and look forward to the day. Let's see here. So that's kind of the gist of the large meridian, but I just want to bring in a little bit more about metal, this aspect of the two together. It's metal represents the crystals and the minerals in the earth. And we talk about this in other shows, about the importance of giving our bodies the minerals that we need. And this ties in the nervous system as well, because that's what's going to carry the messages down through the body. The Chinese actually relate it to a computer. So we have crystals, chips in computers, and the wiring. So our body is quite similar to the way the computer runs. And I know we use the filing system or the programs a lot. So it really helps us get a deeper understanding how the body works and how the importance of having that mineral and support for our body. So that's the lung one. Now let's bring up the large intestine. It is, I don't know, I can't see the chart when I'm showing you people, but it kind of travels on from the little finger or the outside of the arm, goes up here, it kind of does this jig, and then it goes up into the neck and comes around to the mouth, edge of the mouth here. So finding what's sore with you. I know a lot of times lately, I've been real sore up the sides of my neck. It's almost like that ear canal. This is all related to this meridian. And the time for this is between 5 a.m. and 7 a.m. It's the final digestion and elimination. Bowels is involved in this. And what surprised me was actually gums and teeth. You know, you wouldn't think of large intestine being connected to the gums and teeth. Face, mouth, shoulder and neck injuries, and it's also related to frontal headaches. So in the mental aspect of it, it's that rigidity that we're talking about with the metal, that black and white thinking, controlling, trying to hold everything together, and, you know, fear of, oh, if I let one thing go, everything will crumble, and then I don't know what that looks like. And so kind of that fear of the unknown. So we sort of hold everything together, stuck in old mental habits, controlled or controlling. Emotionally, it's kind of that need to be right, not flexible, sadness, detachment to life. So you can kind of see how that lack of exuberant with the lung and detached to life with the large intestine, they sort of go together. Spiritual, it seeks perfect authority outside themselves. So looking for something outside of yourself to tell you what to do, to make decisions. And like we said, it can show up as constantly being negative, bloating, digestion problems. It also removes the moisture out of our body. So it's all about adaptability in the large intestine and being able to flow with our journey and life and not get hung up or stuck in areas. Are you ready?
It's amazing. Yes, it's amazing to me how no matter what we talk about, whether it's chakras or energy, crystals, body, computers, it's amazing how there's so many commonalities and how everything works together, especially for someone like me that's such a skeptic about a lot of this stuff. So it's very cool. So tip number 1, deep breathing. Yes, I know we've never said that before, but like I said earlier, breathing is so important, and it's amazing how good it makes you feel.
And setting that intent with your breath of what are you bringing into your life? What are you receiving and what are you letting go? And if you're in more of the letting go stage, then just make that out breath a little longer and think of all those things that you're letting go, the old files that we talk about. And then when you're done that, then taking that nice deep breath in, expanding your lungs, expanding your ribs, because when we shallow breathe, we're not actually functioning our whole body properly. We're meant to be expanding and contracting in that area.
Yeah.
So tip 2. Wow, I gotta get to my tips here. I don't have my tips, but tip 2. Tapping, right? EFT, and we did a whole show on that. And when we're tapping, which we talked about, this is actually tapping on the meridians. So you're activating these meridians without having to do too much work. And it's all about, Michael will have the link down below, so watch it. But it's about releasing what no longer serves you and starting to help your body feel safe and move forward.
And again, walking our talk. I've been trying this. For those of you that know, I do suffer from anxiety and some panic attacks. And as a skeptic, I have to say, I'm really impressed with how well this works. I can immediately get it under control. Like, I've practiced it enough now that as soon as I start, I just calm down and I work through it. And I love it. Tip 3. I have a new affirmation from Darlene. It's going to be the first affirmation I put on my mirror in my new place. I release all that no longer serves me to embrace positive change in my life. So this week, I want people to say that. And I want everybody just one day this week, I want you to jump out of bed with absolute exuberance, just getting ready for the day, and be conscious of it and see how your day goes. And then please hit like on our page and leave us a comment about how your day was different, if it was, and I hope it is.
And share, people, share our message. If you know somebody, maybe it's not relating to you and my life is all right, or but you might know somebody in grief or just going through some hard times that would benefit from this. And as well as extra support from me, again, I will give away 2 free sessions. Just email Michael and Darlene Turner. Michael has it on the bottom there to get booked up for your free session. I only have 2 spots this week. So I look forward to working with you.
And I can attest to the body work and the energy work that Darlene does. It is absolutely amazing. I love it. So thank you, everybody, for joining us. Come and join us every Sunday at 10 o'clock for the new perspective on trauma, abuse, chronic pain, and the steps to a healthy and thriving life. And we will see you next week.
Bye, everyone.